This is the moment we've all been waiting for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Let's get ready to rumble!
So the Cleveland Cavaliers, they've done it. After teasing us for a little while, they have finally clinched the number one seed in the Eastern Conference, something that I don't even think really the most optimistic Cavs fans entering the year thought they were going to do. I don't remember exactly what my best case scenario was for the Cavs. I think maybe I picked them winning 58 games, and maybe that could be good for the first or second seed. I think I picked them to be the second seed, but winning 65 games now, or 64? Is this win number 64?
63.
Is it only 63? That's the updated one. All right. Well, I was a little too high on them, I guess. But either way, winning 60 plus. I should have just said that instead of exposing myself. I should have just said winning 60 plus. It's way easier. But them winning this many games, even the most optimistic Cavs fans couldn't have seen it coming. Granted, sure, the last month of the season hasn't been as electric and on fire as the first half of the season was, but the first half of the season was legitimately one of the best teams we've ever seen for a while there. So it was a lot of fun. I'm glad that the Cavs can finally get that, the monkey off their back. They're the number one seed. These next few games don't matter at all. We can rest Donovan Mitchell. We can, if they dilly-dally, if they're not locked in, it's not as big of a deal. We've taken care of business. But Corey, what's your biggest takeaway, not only just from this specific game, but finally getting the number one seed, finally clinching it?
I think unless worst case scenario really happened for this Cavs team and there was an implosion that we didn't foresee going in this last closing stretch, it was going to be a pretty uphill battle for the Cavs to lose this number one spot. But it's good to get, obviously, just to get it out of the way, not have it something that kind of hangs over this team in the closing games, but also just to win in the fashion that they did against the Bulls. While, yes, the Bulls did cut a basically 25-plus point lead down to less than 10 during a stretch of this game, the Cavs were able to respond, kind of generate the same separation in score the way they did in the first half, which was generate some turnovers from the Bulls, kill them in transition, get hot from three for various points in the game. I mean, they started the second quarter going 5 for 6 from three to create their first gap. And then they did something similar to that in the second half as well. So just to kind of hit that right note, I know it's the Bulls. I know they were completely battered by injury. So take it for what you will, but wins are wins. And when the Cavs win in the fashion that they should win by, I take that as a win more than kind of excusing it for other reasons.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you play who's in front of you, right? And with the Cavs right now, their record down the stretch of the season was never really going to be that important. It's more so the process, the way that they've been playing, and they haven't looked too focused as of late, right? Like they've taken their eye off the ball a couple times. There was a moment there, like you said, where the Bulls kind of rallied back and they got it to within single digits, and we were feeling a little anxious. The chat was definitely feeling a little anxious because it's like, they took their eye off the ball again. They've kind of let their foot off the gas a few times here recently, but all it took was one more Cavalanche, Darius Garland hitting a bunch of threes, Evan Mobley, big block, a couple steals, just everyone on this team clicking, and all of a sudden the diff is back up to 20. And so this was the type of game where the Cavs were just throwing haymakers all night long. And considering that it feels like it's been a while since we've seen them do that, it was pretty sweet. I remember at halftime, I looked at the box scores, and I believe off the top of my head, this is just the fifth time all season the Cavs have got above 50% from the three-point line, which, I mean, doing that 5 times a year is pretty great. But it's been a while since they've did it, is my point. They've been in a little bit of a three-point shooting slump. I think they've been 28th in three-point percentage since the All-Star break, maybe, or just over the last 2 weeks. Someone tweeted this recently. They've been near the bottom of the league in three-point percentage for a stretch here. So seeing them get back on track, Darius Garland especially, this was maybe the number one thing I wanted to see them do tonight, other than, clinch the number one seed, is I needed to see Darius Garland have a big game, get his three-point shooting touch back, look like the Darius Garland that I come to expect from the beginning of the season when he was in all NBA discussions. He has been slumping a little bit before this, right? Like his points per game, I think, are down by almost 5 points per game since the All-Star break. His shooting percentages have dipped drastically during the stretch as well. So here's a game where Donovan Mitchell is out with an ankle injury, which doesn't seem like it's going to be too much of a long-term concern. I think they'll probably rest the next few games. I don't see any reason to play him anymore in the regular season. Just get him right for the playoffs. But without Donovan Mitchell out there, perfect opportunity for Darius Garland to come in and have a big game. And 28 points, 6 of 10 3-point shooting, 5 assists. I mean, every single time down the floor, he was getting past Chicago's defense and doing whatever he wanted. He was throwing some nasty one-handed passes, step-back threes. It just looked like a vintage DG game, and that's exactly what I wanted to see from him in this situation.
Yeah, especially, I think it makes a lot of sense for the fan worry to kind of mount on and pile on, especially in the fashion of these losses and to what honestly has been lesser competition. And it's also you can break it down to individual level as well. And Garland was someone who post All-Star break has kind of been slipping from what we were talking about this on the stream, that he went from someone that was flirting with a third team All-NBA nomination to kind of now mired in an up and down turbulent second half performance to the season. So performances like this are really inspiring for the Cavs' hopes in the postseason, because we're basically 2 postseasons removed now from Darius Garland playing postseason basketball. I'm not going to count last season as Darius Garland, because as we've seen, the difference between last year and this year is a seismic gap between the two. So, I think we need to see what a healthy, fully confident Garland can do in the postseason, because I think for all the talk of how Donovan Mitchell really will dictate how far the Cavs go with his performances, Garland and Mobley and even Allen are also equally as instrumental, because I think if the formula plays out the same as in past seasons where Donovan Mitchell we have to ride Donovan Mitchell through all the rounds and just cross our fingers for a big Garland, Mobley, or Allen game, then we're back to square one, no matter how they close out this season or how well they performed in the regular season. If they revert, then games like this prove that might not be the case.
Yeah, I mean, look, you can win games in the playoffs if Darius isn't playing that good, but you're not winning series. You're not winning multiple series, and you're certainly not getting to the championship if Darius Garland isn't a legit number 2 option, if he isn't capable of putting up a game like this, 28 points, 10 of 17. Even if Mitchell is going, we look at it, it's okay, well, the Cavs don't want to be overly reliant on Mitchell. If he's not playing good, the game you can't be screwed. But even if Mitchell is playing good, getting that extra boost from Darius Garland at the same time is what takes the Cavs from being a very good team to being oh my God, they could beat Boston if Garland and Mitchell are both clicking at the same time. We've seen that more this year than really ever before. And by the way, just to point it out, 28 points in 29 minutes. This was efficient as hell from Darius Garland. Just came in, got it done in very little time. And that's what we saw all year before the All-Star break. So just seeing a little proof of concept again, just a little reminder, all right, that guy's still there. He's still in there. He looked very confident tonight, moving around the floor very well, looked really healthy. We're going to wrap up this episode here quick, but I want to talk about the bench, because 18 points from Ty Jerome. And again, just like I said with Darius Garland, 18 points in 22 minutes. He just comes in off the bench, does his job, calls it a night. Plus 23, team high. Absolutely killed it. The 3-point shooting, the floaters, getting into the lane, the assists. He had a lob to his best friend, DeAndre Hunter, who, by the way, had 17 points off the bench in just 26 minutes. Only 2 of 8 shooting from 3, but he just does such a good job of finding ways to score at all 3 levels. The mid-range shot, running the floor. DeAndre Hunter has been such a plus to this team, and getting Ty Jerome back and healthy has been great for this team as well. Yeah,
the bench obviously is pivotal for this team. It's probably the biggest difference maker between this year and last year's team. Ty Jerome is truly, in my opinion, I think most fans' opinions, the difference maker off this bench. DeAndre Hunter coming into the fold late also has, but I could see situations where DeAndre Hunter, we've been noting in the streams that DeAndre Hunter's kind of someone that sometimes the ball kind of sticks with him once it's given. It's very rare for him to give up the ball unless it's a blatant reason to. I say that, but he is also the guy who pulled up from 3 on a 3-on-1 break pretty much.
Yeah.
So, but Ty Jerome performances like this are huge. I would be honestly shocked at this point if Ty Jerome doesn't show up in the postseason. Now, I'm not saying that I don't expect teams to attempt to target him defensively, because I just think that's the shtick that guards get in the postseason. It's like, how can we attack this guy? Ty Jerome's not that level of guard where I think it's going to be as easy as some teams might foresee, but it's good. I think because we've had this debate a decent amount throughout the season, is Ty Jerome going to be that X factor player for the Cavs off the bench? And I think at some point you just can't argue with the efficiency numbers anymore. And games like this kind of prove that too. Being the team leader in plus minus, I know plus or minus is kind of a nitpicky stat sometimes, but it's something it's not just a number. It's something that you see too. It's not like you don't leave a game going like, oh, Ty Jerome was the leader in plus minus. That was weird. I didn't pick up on that at all. It's always something that it truly does translate to the film of what you watch. So Ty Jerome, I think games like this are just a reminder of why the bench can look flat in games that he's not there, because he comes in, makes an impact, and just jets quickly. Like he's not even in, like you said, for long stretches. It's like, goes in, puts in like 5 good minutes, leaves. Impact immense.
He plays with so much confidence, so much authority with every single thing that he does that, like, yeah, you're right. I have no doubts that Ty Jerome will show up in the playoffs, or at the very least, like, I'm not going into it wondering whether or not he's going to look like Ty Jerome when the playoffs start. Now, of course, basketball's unpredictable. Maybe he ends up sucking in the playoffs for all we know, but I'm certainly giving him the benefit of the doubt with the way that he plays. Again, it's just the confidence. It's this every single thing he does. Like when he hits the most ridiculous, absurd floater you've ever seen in your life, he's like, yeah, I knew that was going in. You could just tell. It's like he knew that was going in when he let it go. And meanwhile, you're watching it. You're like, what are you even doing? You're horizontal to the floor and you're like throwing this up behind your head. It's crazy, the shots that Ty Jerome makes, but he truly believes in himself to that degree. Like he's just that confident of a player. And so the last thing that I want to hit on here too, the bigs tonight absolutely crushed it. And Evan Mobley back flirting with a triple-double once again, 21 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals. Only 1 block surprises me because I swear I felt like he was every other play contesting something. I really surprised. Thought he had more than 1 block, but
the campaign is
Evan
over.
Mobley, the campaign's over. That's it. He doesn't. We need at least 3 blocks a game down the stretch for him to win Defensive Player of the Year, because Draymond Green, he's just putting up crazy numbers. You look at it, it's
and
like
podcasts.
every night. Every night Draymond's got like 1 steal and like maybe a block every other game. So it's just, I don't know how Evan Mobley's going to compete. But in all seriousness, seeing him fill up the box score here, in a game where again, no Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, 18 field goal attempts. He only made 8 of them, but like, dude, I'm here for Evan Mobley being a shot chucker sometimes. Let's see it. I want Evan Mobley to keep shooting, be aggressive, 7 assists, get the ball to Evan Mobley, let him decide some of this stuff. So I thought that was great. And then Jarrett Allen too. I mean, 3 steals, 2 blocks. He was awesome tonight, even though only 29 minutes, 12 points, 9 rebounds. The stats aren't going to jump off super crazy because no one really played that much tonight. No one played above 30 minutes, which again, Kenny, great job all year keeping the guys fresh, getting them ready for the playoffs. So any final takeaways here?
No, I do want to go off your Mobley point because I think that was it was a good reminder that last season, like I think, or just Evan Mobley's career in general, it's always been, we've been more discouraged by his lack of attempts in games. So like you said, like we would have killed for an 8 for 18 night from Evan Mobley for years, just being like, at least he's trying stuff, because it felt like he was just so conservative in his attempts in prior seasons. Once again, just another reminder of how far along he's come offensively. So while the stat sheet, you look at 8 for 18, go like, wasn't the greatest, but I mean, 21 points on 8 for 18, 3 of 6 from 3. A great night for Evan in most seasons of his career. The fact that we're saying like this was an okay night for Mobley is a testament.
Yeah. I mean, you just said it right there. He went 3 of 6 from deep tonight, and we basically just didn't talk about it at all until you like briefly mentioned it. If Evan Mobley hit 2 threes last year, I would have opened up this podcast like throwing confetti in the air, like going crazy. Like he's here. He's hitting threes, but he hit 3 tonight. And it's just like, oh yeah, Evan Mobley, 8 for 18, not even a good shooting night. It's like he hit 3 3-pointers. He went 3 of 6 from the 3-point line. We would have been losing our minds, but guess what? He hit 4 the other day. Yeah, Dylan just said it. He hit 4 the other night. I think he's done that 4 or 5 times this year. Didn't do it a single time in any other season of his career. He's doing it, multiple times this year. 3 3-pointers is just, it's business as usual. Again, do I think he's Kevin Durant? No, he's not quite there. but the leap has been tangible. We can see it now. This man is going to be an all-NBA player. The Cavs have locked up the number 1 seed, and that's going to do it for this little post-game pod. So thank you to everyone for tuning in. Thank you to the Playback chat for being here. I just released my Patreon account, so if anybody wants to support the show, then please go follow that link. You'll get ad-free versions of every podcast episode plus 4 bonus episodes. So I really, truly appreciate anyone who follows that. And thanks for watching. Can't wait for the playoffs. Go Cavs.